Hey guys, welcome to our video, Adventures in Skopje. We're here in Skopje, North Macedonia.
We're going to see Matka Canyon. This is a really large and beautiful canyon we've been really excited about. The sun is out and shining today. It went up quite a few degrees. So it's supposed to be 18 degrees today. So we're excited to check that out. There's a couple ways you can get here from Skopje. There's supposed to be a bus station. You take N60, I believe. But we ended up staying in a different area, so it was actually a 40-minute walk at least to the bus station itself. On top of that, the bus is about 55 minutes to get out here, and it takes you to the bottom of the hill, and then you walk 20 minutes to get to the entrance of the canyon. And we accidentally got a little bit of a late start today, so we ended up just taking a taxi out here for 700 dinar, so that's about
$17 Canadian.
So not too bad. So we just got here now, they just dropped us off and we're about to walk into the canyon. So let's see what there is to see here. We're just following the Matka Canyon hiking trails. We just stopped to get a quick espresso to start the day off at the restaurant down at the beginning. And now we're just going to keep continuing these trails and see what kind of view we can get. It's actually gotten quite chilly out, so we're just going to follow the trails and try to find the sun as well. Let's go.
Hey guys, we just walked to the end of the canyon and back. Now we're at the start. We got some great pictures and saw the canyon. Now we're gonna go check out the boats and look into a tour.
Just waiting to get onto a boat. We just booked a tour. It's going to be 1 hour to the caves and back, and it was 400 dinars, so that's about $10 Canadian. So we're just waiting and then we're gonna get on going.
So we just finished our boat tour. We saw a cave and we also learned about an underwater cave that you can scuba dive in.
Obviously we didn't do that today, but we did take a really cool boat trip out there, and the water here is so blue and green, so bright and beautiful. and the boat tour was really nice in itself. So we're all done for today. So now we're gonna head back into the city.
All right.
See you guys on the next adventure. Okay guys, so getting back from Matka Canyon, we just have a funny little travel story to tell you guys and I'll just share.
So yeah, it was an adventure getting back, trust us. It was the biggest adventure we had in the entire video. So we'd originally planned to take a bus back from Matka Canyon into Skopje, and it was going to work perfectly. But
we couldn't really find the bus stop, and we found an area where a couple was waiting, so we thought maybe this is a bus stop. We waited for a while there, nothing came, and then there was a little cafe across the street and restaurant, so we grabbed a bite to eat there, and then
as our food came, the bus showed up and we completely missed it, so
we were like, it's fine, we'll just take the next one, obviously. So we wait a while, still not coming. It was supposed to come every half an hour to hour. We waited quite a while. We looked around, we thought maybe we could take a taxi. So we looked around for taxis.
We looked like everywhere. There was not a single taxi to be found anywhere.
Yeah.
So I looked up on Google Maps and found there was a little village about half an hour walking away, and I was like, I'm sure there's going to be a taxi there. So let's walk to the village for half an hour and hopefully we can find a taxi.
So we continued to walk for quite a while after walking around the canyon and having a really long day getting out there and walking all around. Kind of ready to go home, so we walked all the way there. It was definitely more than 30 minutes away, I'm pretty sure. So we passed a bunch of crazy like views. That was the only good part about this. And we get to the village and we didn't find a taxi. It's a village, so it's not big at all. We walked through it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we were at the other side and didn't see any buses or taxis or anything. So we saw that on the maps again that there was an even bigger town farther along. And we're like, okay, I guess we'll just try and walk to this one. So what did we probably walk for another 40 minutes? At
least. He convinced me to just keep walking because what else are we gonna do at this point? We have no idea where we are, so we can't even call a taxi. We don't have a taxi number. We can't figure that out, how to like get someone to our location. The bus still hadn't come like past us to go pick people up there or the other way. So I have no idea if the bus just stopped running. That would be our luck. So we pull over for a quick second. I was getting so hungry and I get real hangry. So we have a bag of nuts that we had as like my emergency
snack.
What is it called? Emergency
Alyssa snacks?
No. Yeah, okay, those. And so we're like washing our hands and sanitizing, and this car pulls up, and I don't know what Noah was thinking completely, but he just like goes towards them and starts talking to them, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And
so the lady waved me to the car because we had talked about hitchhiking possibly.
As a joke, he had said we should just try hitchhiking.
But the lady waved me up to the front window of her car, so I went up to the front window of the car and she said, oh, like, I saw you guys going when I drove back the other way, and now I'm on the way back into the city, and I saw you guys again, so I thought I'd pull over and offer you a ride to the nearest bus station.
But I didn't hear any of this. I just kind of turned around, Noah's talking to someone, and then he's getting into the car, and he's like, get into the car. I'm like, who's in this car? I don't even know. And at that point, I was like, whatever happens, happens. So we get into the car.
And she drove us to the nearest bus station. She was so nice.
So sweet. She was sweetest human, speaks perfect English. Yeah. Which was helpful, obviously, asking us about ourselves and stuff. And she's like, oh, don't worry, I'll just drive you to the next bus station and then you can get on a bus from there.
So we get to the nearest bus station and she pulls up and says, you just have to buy your tickets from the kiosk at the bus station. But we kind of looked at her like we didn't really understand what was going on. So she's just like, okay, and gets out of her car and goes to the kiosk.
Completely leaves her car open and like running, and she's like, it's fine, I'll be back. Like not even in a parking spot, just like is like, I'll bring you guys to this kiosk. To be fair, it doesn't look like anything. It's like a really run down, kind of like Soviet era, like green
looks like
stall.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe something like underground parking, you'd buy something there, I don't know.
So she goes there and she starts talking to them in Macedonia, and we have no clue what's going on at this point. We're just hoping this is going to get us back into the city. We are tired. It is dark. But she talks to them for a few minutes, and then she's like, okay, you need to pay them this much euros. And I was like, I don't have any euros. How much dinar is it? I just held out the cash I had in my hand.
All the cash.
And she just picked out what bills that I needed to pay and just gave them to the person working at the kiosk who gave us the Skopje bus cards, which was great.
Which apparently we needed to get on a bus, so we couldn't have even got on a bus earlier because we never had these bus cards, and you can only buy them at select locations.
Then once we have the card, she's like, you just go take the number 2 bus into the city. And again, we kind of looked at her like we didn't know what was going on. So she's like, just come with me, and takes us around the bus parking lot and starts talking to one of the drivers, trying to find out what bus goes into the city for us. And after the first bus, she found out, she talked to him.
Yeah, really lucky. The first bus that she went to was like, yeah, this is the one. So she's just explaining to us how we go on and we tap our cards. And we're like, that part we know, like we're from Vancouver in Canada. And she was like, yeah, you just walk in, you tap it, and then you're all good.
But yeah, anyways, so we got on the bus, it all worked out, we tapped our cards, and the bus took us directly back in the city center, which was perfect, exactly where we needed to go, and it was definitely
that was a crazy travel story.
One of the craziest experiences that happened to us on this trip, for sure.
If you are the person that gave us a ride back, and you happen to see this, thank you so much. We honestly don't know how we would have gotten home that night. So
we would have been walking for another 2 hours.
At least. We looked it up on Google Maps, and the full walk was going to be like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
If we walked all the way to our house. And I don't think we would have made it. And it was dark. So that was the problem. We had no idea where we were. So thank goodness for that lady.
Okay, so this concludes our video Adventures in Skopje, Matka Canyon.
If you guys want any more details on what there is to do in Skopje and to eat in Skopje, you can check out my blog, The Backpacking Beauty, which I'll link below. I hope this has inspired you to travel and helped you to plan your next adventure.
As always,
Stay safe and happy travels.